Brace yourselves, it's hot outside. In fact, it's so hot you should just stay indoors or by the pool. A monster heatwave is gripping Australia, and if you're expecting quick relief, sadly you're in for a rude and sweaty shock. Temperatures today soared to 44.5 C in Penrith and other parts of Sydney's west, and as high as 46.9 C at Ivanhoe Airport, in lower western NSW. The Bureau of Meteorology has reported the hottest February day on record at Sydney Airport today. It has broken the previous record of 42.6 C, set on February 21, 1980. Temperatures are forecast to reach a high of 39 C tomorrow, with extreme weather conditions expected to continue into Sunday. Saturday's Randwick races have been postponed to February 13 because of the extreme weather expected over the weekend. Racing NSW and the Australian Turf Club made the decision out of concern for the welfare of horses and punters. Tropus director John Polson said the event would still go ahead in Parramatta this weekend. It is now officially the hottest summer in Sydney's 158-year recorded history, with 10 summer days over 35 C. According to BOM. The 40 C mark has also been exceeded in Gosford on the Central Coast and at Tokal in the Hunter region. New South Wales, South Australia, Queensland, and parts of Victoria are currently in the grips of a heatwave from hell, with cooler weather not in sight until at least Sunday, with experts warning to plan ahead to avoid heat-related illnesses including dehydration and heat stroke. Earlier today, Darwin was the coolest capital city in the country. Queenslanders will have to wait even longer for a respite, with cooler conditions not expected until next week. The Courier Mail has reported that 3 children, all aged 13, have been taken to hospital after they succumbed to the warm weather at a North Lakes school in Queensland. Paramedics were called to the school on College RD about 10 a.m. after several children reportedly suffered from heat-related illnesses, the newspaper reported. People living in northern Victoria are also working up a sweat before a cool change sweeps through the state, bringing much-needed relief on Sunday. And South Australians are set to suffer even more, with the northern outback town of Tarcoola recording a high of 48.2 C yesterday, making it Australia's hottest town. Meanwhile, as temperatures soar across the eastern states, at least a dozen beaches remain closed on the Gold Coast due to strong swell. The Glitter Strip beaches, between Burleigh and Rainbow, are expected to reopen on Saturday. Lifeguards and lifesavers will check the beaches north of this area in the morning prior to making a decision, a Gold Coast City Council spokeswoman said. And the Office of Environment and Heritage for NSW has also advised people to avoid swimming at the popular beaches of Coogee and Little Bay due to pollution. Senior forecaster at the Bureau of Meteorology, National Operations Centre Stephen Wood, said, while summers in Australia were notoriously hot, the consecutive run of hot days in so many states was not normal. It's unusual to have such prolonged heat for this long without a reprieve, he said. Mr. Wood said the lack of cool change was due to the heat staying inland and becoming trapped by the high-pressure ridge. This basically keeps the heat sitting in the centre of Australia. It really is quite an incredible heat. We are used to getting 2 to 3 heat waves a summer, but this has just been ongoing. Meanwhile, a climate and health expert has warned the extreme temperatures could not only break records but could prove fatal. Dr. Liz Hanna, a climate and health expert at the Australian National University, said people must take the extreme heat seriously to avoid the risk of dying. The Bureau of Meteorology has forecast 2 days of 41 degrees Celsius in Canberra, so we may break the all-time record for the city's hottest day, Dr. Hanna said. The current record is 42.2 degrees Celsius, set in 1968. New South Wales act as the heatwave spreads further east into the coastal regions of NSW. The state is bracing for record weather that is set to strain hospitals, bring catastrophic fire threats to some areas, and could cause blackouts as electricity demand soars. There is a statewide fire ban on Saturday and Sunday in NSW, and the ACT. Fire crews are also warning people living in bushfire-prone areas to have an evacuation plan in place. If the forecast eventuates, we're likely to see catastrophic fire danger develop in some areas, including the Hunter, RFS Commissioner Shane Fitzsimmons said. Mr. Wood said Sydney usually recorded temperatures in the mid-30s and even 40s throughout the summer. But he said the run of consecutive high overnight temperatures has meant people don't feel like they have got any respite. As the city prepares to swelter today, Health authorities are warning people to stay indoors. Sydney's CBD is expected to hit 38°C today, while parts of Western Sydney, including Penrith and Richmond, will hit a scorching 44°C. NSW Energy Minister Don Harwin has already warned the grid would be at full stretch and could be temporarily shut as electricity demand soars. The Australian energy market operator, AEMO, is forecasting a record demand for power between 4:30 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. Electricity demand is set to jump by 50% in Western Sydney, according to Endeavour Energy, which will place emergency crews on standby in case of network faults. AAP reported. Mr. Harwin said people could save energy by turning the aircon up to 26°C, adjusting fridge temperatures, switching off unused electrical appliances and turning off lights where it's safe to do so. NSW Health has advised people to limit physical activity and to avoid alcohol and sugary drinks. Pet owners have also been warned to keep their animals cool and hydrated and to avoid leaving them in hot cars. Some track closures are also in place in national parks. The good news is relief will be in sight for some parts of the state on Sunday morning when a predicted cool change kicks in. Parts of the coast and Greater Sydney are tipped to cool down to the mid-20s on Monday and Tuesday. Canberra is also going